Hi guys, this is Scribbly with another pen review, and today we are going to have a look at a Sailor pen. That Sailor pen here has been sent to me by papierundstift.de. Many thanks for sending me this pen for review. This here is actually a Sailor ProGear. It's the Sailor ProGear Slim. I have already reviewed a Sailor ProGear before, the Sailor ProGear Standard in black, and I'm gonna bring that pen back in a minute for a size comparison. The Sailor ProGear Slim / Sapporo is, so to speak, the smaller brother of the regular ProGear. It's a little shorter, it's a little thinner. So I thought, since I've already reviewed the standard in black, the standard size ProGear in black, it might be nice to complement that review with a review of a Sailor ProGear Slim / Sapporo in another color scheme. And I found this blueberry, which is actually a really deep rich purple, very appealing. So I'm really grateful to papierundstift.de for sending me this pen for review. Thanks a lot for that. A pen, as said, ProGear Slim Blueberry RT for rhodium trim, FP for fountain pen, 14 karat gold nib, which is rhodium plated, in medium. Comes in this Sailor box. No surprise here, all Sailor pens that I have seen so far do come in this dark blue Fox leather. Actually, it looks leatherish, but it is plastic and one feels that clearly. Nothing wrong with that. Box with a golden Sailor typo logo and the anchor logo on it. Says Sailor in here. Pen would then rest in here. Comes with a proprietary Sailor converter, because those pens do use the proprietary Sailor filling system. So you either need Sailor cartridges or the Sailor converter that is supplied with the pen, which of course you do expect with a fountain pen in the 130 to 50 euro price range. So you can use bottled ink with that, and then it comes with a manual here with a couple of filling instructions and all that in Japanese and also in English. That's it. Now let's have a closer look at the pen. So of course the Sailor ProGear Slim / Sapporo has the same shape as the regular ProGear, which is actually a capped off cigar shape, and that fountain pen design does have a lot of fans out there, including me, because yeah, it is a nice, very modern looking sort of adaptation of this classic cigar shape pen style. Let me see if I have a cigar shaped pen here. I do. I have a Sailor ProGear large here that I still have to review. 1911 large to be precise. And you do see it's essentially the cigar shape. It's just capped off here. So let's start here at the top of the pen, where we do have a finial. We have the Sailor anchor logo here on a black finial plate, so to speak, with the blueberry purple around. We then have a rhodium plated clip. Very nice, super to use, not too tight, not too loose, very usable. Great shirt pocket pen also, by the way. It's about the size of a Pelikan M200. Very handy to carry with you. The classic Sailor clip design that you also find on the 1911, this like 3-step staircase sort of design. We then have a double cap band here saying Sailor Japan, founded 1911, rhodium plated as well. Cap flares down here a little bit onto the barrel, and we then have another silver band here and then a flat top. I really do like, I can't emphasize that enough, this flat top design. I do actually like it more than the cigar shape design. The pen then unscrews with about 1.5 turns. Nice. That makes it a very fast note taker, as I emphasize that in almost every review, that I really hate it if you have to twist the cap about 3 times for it to come off. Nothing more annoying than that. We have an inner cap here that prevents the nib from drying out. I've never had an issue with picking up that pen and it wouldn't ride. So the cap does a wonderful job in what it's supposed to do. We then find a, as said, slightly short pen the pen is really on the short side. I do not have the smallest hands on earth, but I also don't have gigantic hands, but it's really borderlining for me to be comfortable to write with. I can certainly write shorter notes with the pen. I can also, of course, write shopping lists and to-do lists and all that with the pen, but for longer writing sessions, I certainly would want to post that pen, and that is actually how I do write that pen most of the time. One thing that I gotta note actually is sailor nibs are famous for their pencilish feedback, and I personally have found that when I write the pen posted, that feedback is a lot more noticeable than when I do write the pen unposted. So unposted, the pen does feel a little bit smoother, you feel less of the feedback. The pen does also, smoother is maybe the wrong word, is less of the feedback, because the pen is also super smooth when written posted, but you do feel more of that sailor feedback that sailor nibs are famous for, as said, and I actually do really like that feedbacky feel. So that's also why I prefer to write the pen posted. And well, it does completely not throw the pen off balance. I do find the pen actually more balanced when posted, because the cap posts quite deep down onto the barrel, as you can see here. That is quite a way that the cap travels down the barrel here. And you have a good amount of cap resting at that part here of your hand, so that makes for a very balanced feel. Another reason why I prefer to write that pen posted. We then have a black section with another silver ring here. That black section makes a very lovely contrast to the purple of that blueberry color finish here. We have steps that are executed to perfection, threads, of course, not steps, threads that are executed to perfection. Those are not sharp at all. You can really hold that pen wherever you like. But surely it's a smaller or shorter pen, so you would want to hold that pen down here anyway. As said, that black section, very nice contrast. We then have this fabulous sailor nib here, the sailor nib design, because beside Pelican's nib design and maybe Pilot's nib design on some of Pilot's nibs, are my favorite nib designs out there. No secret, wonderful scroll work on their breather hole 1911 for the founding year of Sailor, the anchor logo. We then have 14K, FIDE 585 for the gold content, Sailor on here. Really a beautiful nib. It's a smaller nib, around a number 5 size nib. Sailor then does put the nib with designation always here on the side. This is HM for hard medium. I actually don't know if Sailor does make soft nibs as well. I've never seen SM for soft medium or something like that. Anyway, HM means hard medium. And then we have the also quite beautiful sailor feet that is quite broad and chunky, always sort of reminds me of the head of a cobra. But that's just me. We have metal threading on here, so now eyedrop ring of the fountain pen, possible a small rubber O-ring here that makes for a nice cushioned and tight feeling of screwing the barrel back onto the section. And then we have a Sailor Japan proprietary converter in here, as said, and the pen is filled with Pilot Iroshizuku Tsuki Yo. We will now do a size comparison. I'll compare the pen to my standard reference pen, Alami Safari, but before I do that, I will compare the pen to its bigger brother, which is the Sailor ProGear, the standard. So in case you already have a ProGear standard or you have a ProGear Slim and you're wondering if you should get one of the other, you may find that size comparison that I'm doing right here quite useful. So you do see that the Slim is actually a good amount shorter, and it is also noticeably thinner. I'll show you that right here again for you to see. This is not a scientific measurement, but it may help you to, with your own eyes, appreciate and make a judgment for yourself. It's often more helpful to see that like this on a camera than on pictures on the internet, right? That's why I'm doing this. I can only tell you that the ProGear standard does feel substantially thicker in hand than the ProGear Slim. Let me, after that size comparison here, So you see, it's actually not that much shorter uncapped. So if you see pictures on the internet and you see, oh, the Slim is actually not that much shorter. Well, it is not that much shorter, but you definitely feel it in hand that it's a smaller pen. Of course, you see the much smaller nib. You also see the substantially thinner section here. And that is the point in time where I want to bring in a Pelikan M200 that I should have around here somewhere. I just need to find it. Yes, it's here. The brown marbled. I think the ProGear Slim is actually section-wise quite in the range, yes, of a Pelikan M200. So maybe that is another reference that you may find useful. So you see those three side by side here section-wise, because girth is often a criteria that people use to judge if they may like a pen or not. And we have to look at how those pens look posted. The ProGear is a little bit longer, the regular ProGear. So I think it's fair to say that what we're actually really looking at in the differences in between the ProGear and the ProGear Slim is a noticeable size difference when they are capped. When they were uncapped or posted, the difference in length was not so significant, and mostly a significant difference in girth. And now here we do the size comparison to my standard size reference pen, a Lamy Safari, which of course is a long pen. I won't do a posted size comparison of the Lamy Safari because the Lamy Safari gets super long posted. I'm just going to post the ProGear Slim. That's the picture we get. And now towards the end of the review, of course, as always, what we have left is a writing sample, and I will do that writing sample with the pen posted. I had the pen now uncapped for a good amount of time. I hope the nib has not dried up on me. We shall see. No, it hasn't. Excellent writer. So here we go with the Sailor ProGear Slim. The finish is the blueberry, which is a very nice purple. And we do here have a medium nib. And of course, as it is a Japanese nib, it will run off the finer side of the medium designation. So it essentially writes as a European fine. Sailor nibs are quite wet writers, I do find. Tsukiyo is a medium wet ink. That is quite absorbent paper, so that actually is pretty wet. So it's a wet nib that we have here, a pretty wet nib. Let me bring back the Pelikan here again, because we have a fine nib here on the Pelikan. I do write the same words here for you to actually compare the writing, and that's, you know, that's what most reviewers or pen retailers mean when they say a Japanese medium will write like a European fine, because that's what it actually does. So that was that with the review of the Sailor ProGear Slim / Sapporo in the beautiful blueberry finish. Many thanks again to Papier und Stift.de in Germany for sending me that pen for review. I hope the review was helpful to you, and I'll see you at the next review. Bye bye.